Hi, my name is Darren Joseph from HTJ Tax, and we're the team that seeks to demystify that sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today we want to talk about the Chinese ODI initiatives. This is the Outward Direct Investment Initiative. And to guide us through that minefield, we have Mark Morris again. Mark, could you introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm Mark Morris. I'm an expert in automatic exchange of information, which is CRS, and FATCA and CARF, and soon to be the immovable property exchange of information. And I was a consultant for the EU Commission and the EU Parliament and the OECD for about 10 years. And then I went on my own. Okay.
And I know you mentioned it earlier, but it's perhaps worth repeating and emphasizing. What are restricted ODI initiatives?
Okay, so one is if the entire capital is raised from overseas.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think why that's restricted, but I suppose they'd rather have, there's something called the inward bound investment, and they don't want you to turn around and send it out again. So exceptions, the first three items shall be subject to approval of the competent department in charge of overseas investment. In sensitive countries that have no diplomatic relations with China, I guess projects with Taiwan is out. Subject to war, or shall be restricted by the provision of bilateral and multilateral treaties concluded by China in real estate, hotels, movie studios, entertainment, sports clubs, etc. Setting up offshore equity investment funds without specific underlying industrial projects. So you can't set up funds overseas.
Yeah.
The use of backward production equipment that does not meet the technical standards of the destination country, so they don't want you to be building or sending out old technology, and does not meet the environmental protection and energy consumption safety standards of the destination country. There are exceptions. The following 6 types of ODI are excluded from restricted real estate. Investment in property management and real estate agency businesses. It's interesting. So they don't want you to buy properties, but if you're going to do a real estate agency, you can invest. Construction or acquisition of properties for self-use, including office premises and employee dormitories. Investment in industrial infrastructure construction and development, such as industrial parks, science and technology parks, and logistic parks. So these are allowed. Construction enterprise in exchange for a minority stake in the project with the purpose of obtaining construction contracts of such projects. Uncompleted projects that have been improved by the Development and Reform Commission or have been notified for record filing, and not involved with domestic assets or interests or provision of onshore financing guarantees. Okay, so stick away from the funding. Okay, the following 4 types of ODs are specifically excluded. Hotel management. The following 4 types of OD are excluded from the restricted hotel activities. Remember, they said you can't build hotels, but if it's in hotel management business holding no hotel properties, in restaurant business without lodging services, so maybe building restaurants. Uncompleted projects have been approved by the Development and Reform Commission, same thing, or not involving domestic assets or interest or provision of onshore financing. The following 2 types of ODI activities are excluded from the restricted category. Equity investment funds, which involve neither commitment of domestic assets or interest nor provision of onshore financing, and equity investment funds without specific underlying industrial project formed by domestic financial institution. So they don't want you to set up funds where locals can invest offshore on it. Well, that makes sense, okay?
Okay. So Mark, if anyone wants to follow up with you on any of these issues, what's the best way to reach you?
It's via my website, www.co-ownershiptrust.com, but the co-owner has got a dash between the co and the owner. Or you just Google my name and CRS, and you should be able to find me and my website quickly.
Okay, fantastic. Perfect.